Hey guys, welcome to Tell It to Trevor. I'm your host, Trevor Shelley, and today on my podcast I have
The Wrestling Saint Hunter Young.
um okay. What sparked your interest in the professional wrestling industry?
um, really, what sparked it was I like to say it found me. I was just happened to be in summer school, and my friend turned on wrestling, and I was like, "Oh, that looks really cool." And so then started doing amateur wrestling in school, in high school, and all that kind of stuff, and found a friend, Sean, who's now Sean Legacy WWID, and we just started training together, and one thing led to the next, and now it's 6 years later and still at it. And so like I said, just just found me. I wasn't really looking for it, kind of like how AJ Styles, he wasn't really looking for it, but it found him. And so I say I found that and Jesus all at the same time. So the two most important things in my life just hit me at the same time.
Um, who were your wrestling mentors growing up, like the wrestlers you idolized as a kid?
I would say I hit the game back like in 2008. So like, Undertaker and John Cena, um, Triple H. And so mostly those three guys were my kind of top tier.
How'd you get your start in the wrestling world?
It just kind of goes back to when it found me. My friend Sean just he started training, and then I started going with them, and a company saw us do this spot where we're just setting up the ring and gave us a dark match, and then from the dark match they seemed to like us a lot, and so he said, "Hey, come back, in the next month or two with some actual gear." And from there, another company saw us, and we just started networking, and then from there just went boom, 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 and just got picked up by different promotions and all that.
How'd you, let's see, you already answered that. What was your first wrestling match like?
Uh, well, I go back to the dark match. I mean, it was just adrenaline rush. 30 seconds we were in there. We just did our little thing, and so I don't remember a whole lot about it besides it was like a 6-man tag team match, and I hit two arm drags. My friend hit two arm drags, and we got out of the match, and that was it. But then fast forward a month later to the actual first match. It was sloppy, terrible. Looking back at it, and I'm over there in just Walmart gear, and uh, it was exciting and fun, but you look back at it, it's like, wow, that was not very good.
What are your goals for the future in the wrestling industry?
Goals for the future. When it comes to my goals for the future, a little bit different than what you hear most wrestlers say. Most wrestlers are, I want to make it WWE, I want to make it to this and that. My goal is not really to make it WWE. If that happened, then okay, awesome, great. But my goal really is to just lead as many people to Christ as possible. This wrestling Saint moniker isn't just a moniker; it's who I am in real life. I'm an evangelist. I'm a preacher of the gospel. I'm not a pastor, but I'm a preacher of the gospel. And so for me, it's just leading people to Christ, and then of course, like I'm not just going to sit here and try to over spiritualize it. Like I got some goals that I want to do. Like I would like to win one more singles title somewhere and just defend that thing. Just use that as a way to just bring glory to God and help the company out. And I want to have like three or four more really really good matches that I'm just like really proud of. And then one of the biggest things too is to wrestle in front of my son. I have a 2-year old son and a new son coming in 2 weeks, and so I want to wrestle in front of them where they can remember it. You know.
Yeah. Can you describe your wrestling persona or character for someone that has not heard of you before?
I would say my character persona is really just who I am in and out the ring. I'll say hallelujah when I'm praising, and I'll say hallelujah in the ring. And so, I tell people I'm the wrestling saint simply because I love Jesus and I love wrestling. And so, you combine those two things, all my amateur years of wrestling, and then people say I'm religious, but I call it a relationship I have with Jesus. And so that's how I came up with the wrestling saint. And so I love it because I don't have to pretend to be anybody or anything. Just turn up the volume and shout out louder.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Can you share a memorable moment from your wrestling career?
Um, Let me see. Well, it's funny. The first thing that comes to my mind was that right off this weekend, I went to Arkansas with three other wrestlers, and I came busting through that curtain, and the whole stage, like the lights, the curtain, everything fell, and like it was literally an inch away from falling on top of me. I would have wound up in the hospital, concussion, and so that happened literally Sunday night. To me. And so that was, and then I also spilled some hot pizza all over my lap, and that junk hurt.
I believe it.
uh, but yeah.
Can you describe the feeling of winning your first championship?
Um, it kind of disbelief. It was at a company that wasn't very big at all, and I remember my friend. He when we first started, he's like, "Hunter, you're never gonna win that world title." And then I was like, "Okay, I believed it." But then to win it finally was just like, man, wow, holy cow! Finally, like to no matter how big or small the company is, like to me, I took
Mhm.
that as a sign of Hunter. We trust that, man. You can carry this company, and so like it was. You never forget your first one, just about. So
Yeah.
it was really awesome. Yeah.
How do you handle the mental and emotional aspects of wrestling?
Handling the mental, emotional. I would say, like the gym. The gym's a big part of my life. I go to it 5 days a week, sometimes six. It's your way where you're bulletproof, as you described before. But that's the big way. Talking to Jesus, talking to God, every day. He's my counselor, Prince of Peace for a reason. And so I would say without him and without my wife, she's my she's my biggest helper. She's really my helpmate, and I don't know where I would be without her in my life. So to me, it's faith, family, and you know just having that physical play. It could be a gym, it could be I don't know, for some people a chocolate factory, I don't know. It could just some
Yeah.
place you go to that you're bulletproof.
So we're gonna start this segment called Trev Shock. It's like when you're in a business meeting, you have those round robin questions,
Hmm.
those speed questions where
Okay,
like you got a
Trev
certain
shot,
amount
let's
of time.
go.
Okay. All right. So on mine, you have 6 questions, and you got 50 seconds to answer them.
Okay.
They're most easiest questions. Is a way for like fans to get to know you a bit more. So like a fan could bring you like a favorite snack to a show, or you could bond over a sports team or
Yeah.
food or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Because this podcast is recognized in 7 to 6 different countries. So
Oh wow, that's cool.
yes.
Congratulations, man. Congratulations, big dog.
Thanks.
I see you.
Well, it was surprising. I was in a board meeting with with my media team that helps me like get where I need to be on social media, what we got to target. And they pull up Instagram, and we just noticed like this upcoming riser and NXT that hasn't really had matches yet followed the podcast, and we're like, oh, are we getting like recognized by these people already?
Uh-oh. I'm telling, hey, big move, Trevor, right here. Big move,
Right.
Trevor.
And I remember telling my best friend, well, not my best friend, my new friend, he's a pastor at my church, Pastor Wesley Snell from the Berg Church, which he'll be on some episodes down the road. We're still working that out, but I told him, I was like, my goals is to be better with God, and then this podcast is just gonna take off after our first year anniversary.
That's
So,
awesome.
which has taken off a lot faster than I expected because our first anniversary is in April,
Mm-hmm.
which will have an exclusive episode with Marcus Minnows and Linnaeus Preachers from Palmetto Wrestling Academy and
Okay.
Palmetto Championship Wrestling. So,
Man, look
all
at that.
right, you ready to start this?
I'm ready.
Okay. I'll start the timer after I ask the first question.
All right.
Favorite pre-show snack?
Reese's.
Pre-show song?
Adrenaline.
Who's your favorite wrestler growing up?
Undertaker.
Favorite sports team?
Don't really have one.
Favorite color?
Blue.
Favorite type of music?
Christianity.
You beat it with 22 seconds remaining.
Oh, wow. Look at that. That's think time.
It's not the record yet. Someone has it with 35
Dang.
seconds remaining, so
Dang.
I don't know what they were on, but
I know. They were on like some like pre-workout times two or something like
yeah.
that. They're
All right.
like,
So, what are your biggest challenges of being a professional wrestler outside of the ring?
oh, man, biggest challenges outside the ring. I would say like keeping up, like not getting a dad bod. Like because it's easy to be like I'm a father, husband, run my own business, do this preaching stuff, travel. Let me just eat bad. So just maintaining my body the way you need it to be, and then um, just not letting this be the center of my life. Like not letting it be that, and knowing when to, like, okay, family time, wife time, and when you gotta take care of business time. You
Yeah.
know.
And like for me, I block off Sundays and Mondays just because like I go to church Sundays and then Monday I go to Bible studies, which this week next week I'll be planning to go to Monday Night Raw when it comes to Charlotte. So
Oh, that's gonna
hopefully,
be sick.
because I know they do main event after the show, I think still, I don't know.
You're gonna be having WWE Superstar on there Monday, man. I can see you, Trev. You're gonna be having like some like major stars on your show, and then boom, forget
Well, I'm
forget
just
your anniversary.
well, I just hope when I'm like waiting outside to meet the people, that they recognize me because I'm gonna show up with my polo on with my logo, which I have it under this hoodie, but when it is cold outside.
Yeah, hey, you're gonna be yeeting. You're gonna have some like yeet on your show. You're gonna have just every Raw superstar, man. That's gonna be awesome for you.
Yeah, hopefully to get them, but I gotta wait for Triple H to get back to me about that.
He'll get back to you. He'll
Yeah,
get back.
hopefully. How do you feel about the business side of wrestling and the way that promotion shape storylines?
Like, how do I feel about like any Pacific, just like in general, how
The
they.
wrestling business side.
I say, I mean, like shaping storylines, it kind of boils down to like what is your show trying to be? You know,
Yeah,
is your show trying to be a secular show? Is it trying to be a hardcore show? Is it trying to be a community show? Is it trying to be a faith-based show? Like all those, I think, are very important in determining like what direction and what people you use, what people you don't use, and all of that, and just people get offended so easily now, and I'm sure somebody's going to get offended listening to this podcast. But the fact of the matter is, I really don't care about offending people. But you should still love people. You should still treat people the way you want to be treated. Do unto others as you like done unto you. But not every promotion has to fit your character. You know, like
yeah,
you're never gonna catch me at a GCW hardcore show going through tables getting hit with light bulbs. So you're gonna find me at a lot of faith-based shows because I mean that's what fits me. And so I think people wrestlers they need to realize that before they get all butthurt. I'm like, why doesn't the show accept me? Well, look who you are. Look what the show is.
yeah. Let's see. If you could wrestle any legendary wrestler from the past, who would it be and why?
How far past?
Anytime.
Anytime. Oh, I say I say Seth Rollins, even though that's not
Okay.
really too far. But every match he's in, he makes everybody better, and that's really why I want somebody that's going to make me better and learn from.
If you could attend a wrestling seminar session with any wrestler, who would you pick?
Probably Cody Rhodes, just because I feel like I could get to know him on a more personal level and just kind of share to him what I'm trying to do and feel like he might would buy into that and just thinking about it from a business side of things.
Yeah. Um, if you could have a wrestling legend as your mentor, who would you choose?
Uh, probably Undertaker because he knew when to change and still be the Undertaker and just differently, and so probably him.
Okay. Let's see. What's the next question? Yep, that one's already answered. What is your opinion on wrestling crossover events with other sports and entertainment industries?
Uh, I think it can be good. I, I think it's kind of mixed. I think for most part it can be good, but I feel like both sides need to understand where the other one's coming from. You know, like if 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 you have a wrestling on soccer, they need to understand. Oh, okay, like what these guys do, and then soccer on wrestlers. Like the wrestlers need to understand what these soccer players do. So just a understanding of each other, because it just how it is in the business. Oh, it's fake. It's not real. You guys. So it's stuff like that it just gets underneath our skin.
Yeah. Um, what advice would you give to an aspiring wrestler?
um, I would say don't put your eggs all in one basket. You're one injury away from being done with anything, even outside of wrestling. Football, you're one injury away from that, and just because something happens, it doesn't mean it's the end of it. It could be the start of it.
Yeah. Um, can you talk about a significant rivalry you had and how it helped you grow as a wrestler?
Uh, a significant priority was just to uh, got kind of goes back to a verse in the Bible. God opposes the proud but gives grace to the humble. And so always being willing to listen to the right advice, not the wrong advice, right? Because there's some advice you get from people and from other wrestlers that it's clearly wrong, but the right advice is knowing I'm not the best in the world, I can get better, I can learn, I can do these things, and just not getting stuck in that rut of that has helped a lot.
What was it like working with a particular wrestler that you really clicked with in the ring?
Just working with Sean Legacy. It was really cool because well, I can hit my arm drags and they're gonna look the way I want them to. Whereas if I work an arm drag with literally anybody else in this business, it's not gonna look as pretty. It's not gonna, it's just not gonna look as nice. So, it's really cool working with that particular person because you can just make each other's stuff look like nobody else's business.
Can you describe your training process and what was the most challenging part of learning to wrestle?
Um, Really, the training was in a boxing ring pretty much, so that hurt a lot. And the most difficult part, at first was just kind of memorizing how to memorize stuff, but as I've grown, like the hardest thing, even to this day, I think is just selling right. Knowing how to sell, how can I make things look more real. It's easy to make them look real when they really do hurt, but when the guy's not, hitting you as hard or anything like that, it's still selling that and just being in the moment, being in that zone and still having fun is a thing that I see a lot of like people really struggle with, and it gets easier over time.
Yeah. And then what hobbies bring you joy outside of the wrestling world?
Uh, Definitely working out, having devotional time, that quiet time, family time, um, and I really think that's about it. I mean, watching movies. I like action, CSI, investigative stuff. So stuff just to get out of this world, not think about bills or shows or
Yeah.
all the stuff that is costing you either time, money, or energy.
Yeah. And then what is your favorite gear that you have ever had made?
It actually is my recent gear I just got made. I have a brand new logo I made, and got new kick pads, new trunks, new jacket, new knee pad cover, new shirt, all of it. And the reason I love it is because it's black and white and silver, and so those colors go with anything and everything.
Yeah.
And it's gonna help make people not just look at, oh, the wrestling thing, he's a good superhero. It's like, no, now you get to see, who Hunter Young is behind the wrestling and saying you get to see Hunter Young, yes, he's the wrestling saint, but Hunter is also a father, he's also a husband, he's also somebody that likes to work out, he's somebody that, wants to be the best and is gonna start wrestling like he wants to be like that while still loving for you, praying for you, and singing hallelujah.
Yeah. And then where can they find you on social media?
You can find me on YouTube at the Wrestling Saint Hunter Young. You can go to my own personal website, hunteryoungministries.com, and that has a link to my YouTube page. It has sermons, photos, podcasts, next steps, testimony, all that kind of stuff. And on my Instagram, Hunt Too Young, or I think I just changed it recently to the Wrestling Saint Hunter Young. Trying to make it more consistent there. But the biggest one I always point people to is just my website, hunteryoungministries.com, because again, that's my own website. I designed it, made it, and you can really find out like, oh wow, that's his wife, that's his testimony, that's his sermon, that's how he uses wrestling to glorify Christ. Like it's the whole shebang. And then Facebook too. It's just Hunter Young.
Yeah. Um, and then thank you, Hunter, for being on the Tell It to Trevor podcast.
Thank you, Trevor, for having me, man. You're great at podcasting. You sound like a great human being. You sound like a person who's just, really wants to do great things. I know you're going to do great things. I mean, you're already going on Monday Night Raw. Already got Paul Levesque's number. on speed dial there. He just needs to call you back and quit. Quit. He needs to realize Trevor needs me, right? If I'm gonna make WWE grow to billions of dollars, I need to get on Trevor's podcast. So it sounds
I mean,
like you're
look,
rocking, you're cooking, man. You're yeeting, yeet.
yeah. I mean, look, like if he can be on Logan Paul's podcast, he has plenty of time to be on mine.
Is that thing even a podcast? I mean, shoot. I mean, I think really that podcast, that little Prime thing he's got, I don't know. It's not as good as Trevor's podcast. Trevor asks you the deep, important question. Logan Paul's like, what? I'm
Well, so
saying
guys,
this
you
like I'm an
heard
asshole.
it. I'm better than Logan Paul at my own job.
Hey. I'm just
All right.
saying, man. Logan Paul ain't Trevor, okay? Logan Paul ain't Trevor.
All right. And then, guys, we are doing a t shirt giveaway. Wrestlers and fans are welcome to enter. You just go to the link tree on the social media pages. If you're entering it, you just put your name, what size you want, which to design, and then your social media so I can tag you on it when you win it. And then, or when I announce the winner and everything. Because I had a company that designed 5 different logos, so you guys get to pick between them. And then, thank you to the sponsors of Wrestling Evolution, TBD Wrestling, and Apple City Championship Wrestling. All right. And see you guys next time.
See you guys next time. God bless.